In the beginning, there was only the custodian and the storyteller. There, in the center of their consciousness, a universe was born. Within that universe, the largest planet, Eos, came to be. Its denizens are just as magical and varied as the planet itself. This is their tale. Welcome back to Eos.
An extraction? I can rook a lab coat, darling, but I'm no dentist.
No, the target is a teenager by the name of Jessie.
Target? I don't harm kids.
We are going to rescue a guardian. Heard through some contacts he is unique. Signs point to one of us.
Us?
Right. Off-worlders. In your reality, he would be a shifter of some kind. Here, we just call him a guardian.
There's a lot of shifters.
Yeah, sure are. But he, is different among shifters even.
Oh, someone like us in our reality. Might turn heads even among the magically inclined.
Yeah, I think our mutual acquaintance, Ezra, may be able to help.
The angel.
And proud owner of the Supernatural Bar in New York.
That man gets around.
That he does. Does your dog need anything before we go?
Aislin pulls out a service dog harness and a leash, getting Bugs prepared.
Well, okay. This will be faster if we take a dust devil. Come on now.
Miles conjures a dust devil, and he, Ansel, Aislin, and Bugs head from the forest to the wastes. As they get further and further in, they begin to travel faster and faster. Suddenly, the very fabric of reality bends around them. The wastes blacken, and stars bend in long ribbons around them, and in a snap, they find themselves in New York. When the group stops a second to catch their breath, the only dog with them was Bugs, as somewhere along the way, Miles had shifted into his human form. He stands at 6'2", with salt and pepper hair, tanned skin, and electric blue eyes, appearing in his late 40s or early 50s.
Ooh, never saw you as an elder gentleman, Miles. I approve.
Let's see. It's...
This way.
When Miles looks up at Aislin, her eyes had shifted to look like a wolf's. But with her head down, it isn't extremely obvious.
clever. Hiding in plain sight.
That's the name of the game. Now, we gotta hurry. Markus will already know we are here.
The old man who had appeared in the wastes after Fuerza, Ansel, and Aislin did, quickly realizes he doesn't wish to be discovered trailing after them. He finds a different pathway into the Elven City within the forest. Moreover, he learns that the elves are absolutely useless for his purposes. He is in negotiations with an elf when he receives telepathic communication that Aislin and Ansel had been seen in New York.
Thank fuck. I can find someone in New York. Maybe I can extend an invitation to stay.
He steps away from the elf and turns a circle on his heel, transporting himself to New York. Aislin and Bugs lead the way directly into a beautiful, lush garden, big, thick bushes creating a path through the area.
How can you tell where it is? Have you been here?
Aislin pauses, trying to figure out how to explain without using direct language, extremely mindful of the people surrounding them.
Well, you just gotta know where to look, old man.
She smiles as Bugs heads to a nearby bench where they sit together. As they sit and have a bit of small talk, Bugs stands and walks around, sniffing the ground. She seems to settle right in front of Ansel as her paw presses a random pebble. In moments, all of the very typical looks in Ansel's direction stop. Within another 30 seconds, it's as though the crowd doesn't see them at all. When Ansel, Aislin, and Miles rise, along with Bugs, they find themselves in front of a building. There is nothing particularly unique looking about it, but the exterior is where that ends. As they approach the door, a small symbol appears on it. They all take turns waving their hands before the door as a magical scanning takes place. Then the door opens. They walk inside to find a very clean, albeit large bar.
It's quiet in here.
Most our kind are, well, creatures of the night.
The VIP area is full, as per your request, Miles.
Ezra, be in a minute.
From behind the bar, an older man straightens. He has long red hair kept in a slicked back ponytail with several bands down its length to keep it neat, a beard barely long enough to cover his chin, a pockmarked and scarred face, and brown eyes. He wears a button-down black shirt over tight jeans and a long jacket.
I know. Ansel, if you don't sit your demonic ass down over here, I'm gonna smite you.
Ansel, who had been making his way over to the stairs, pauses as if debating whether or not it was worth it, and decides to return.
Rude. I was only curious.
So, Jessie.
Right, Jessie has found himself in the same employ as your girl. What was her name? Stellina? Stella?
Sam. I mean,
That's right. Only he's bringing a bit of unwanted attention to the supernatural community.
And you haven't collected his bounty?
He's still a small fish. Only a couple of mil.
A couple mil, as in $1,000,000.
I forget you're still new. Very frankly, Miss Aislin, you are far more worth a prize if I were looking for a bounty. Human money has very little meaning in our world. You know that.
Well, I have a bounty?
What have you done to get the attention of that vampire, Miss Aislin?
Exist.
we ain't here about this. Do you have a location on Jessie?
I do. But there's someone else I need you to bring in with him as an exchange for the information.
And they are.
The boss? She's a succubi.
Seems like I should take Sam out for a drink.
Y'all try it now. I dare you.
I'm not judging. I'm only curious.
Does she have a name?
From what I know, her current alias is Charlie.
I presume you wish her to be breathing upon her retrieval.
Yes, I presumed you were gathering Jessie breathing.
Yes.
Bugsy, want a treat?
The German Shepherd jumps to her feet.
I think you'll be a great help to Jessie. Don't be a stranger here.
Bugs wags her tail and snaps her jaws, giving him a mute bark. He chuckles and tosses her a piece of jerky, which she catches and eats. Ezra hands Miles some paperwork, which he looks over and passes to Aislin and Ansel.
Ooh, I'm familiar with this area.
Shocker.
Thank you kindly. We will be on our way.
The three stand and head out. The bartender waits patiently for a few moments before pushing a button beneath the bar. From the stairs, the man who had followed the guardians out in the wastes descends. Markus. He is tall, with dark brown hair to his chin and length, pale skin, and brown eyes. He is adorned in countless necklaces, charms, and there are rings on every one of his fingers.
Well, that was quick.
In this world, it pays very well to be in the know.
Indeed. Your payment.
Markus rolls his wrist, and an item wrapped in cloth appears in his hand.
Magically sealed, of course. The cloth, because it's still sharp.
The angel gets a hungry look in his eyes as he watches the bundle in Markus's hand.
Where they are going, and the blueprint of the building. Because surely there must be some sort of underground area. Perhaps for the VIP clientele. And it's yours.
It has a soul shard in it. Are you sure?
I don't deal in souls unless they matter. He had nothing to do with me, mine, or my plans, so I guarantee nothing. You're an angel. You can't sense these sort of things.
Tell me about the blade.
Rumored to be Jack the Ripper's. I can tell there's old blood on it, and that remains sharp. That is all I know. Time is of the essence, Ezra. Do we have a deal or not?
Ezra takes a deep sigh, reaches behind the bar once more, and hands Markus the blueprints to a nearby business.
By day, it's a shop for the metaphysical. By night, well...
Thank you. Our business here is concluded.
Markus grabs the paperwork, dropping the cloth on the bar as he sweeps out of the lounge. The cloth lands with a heavy thud, and Ezra grabs it carefully, opening it for inspection. Inside, there is a Liston-type amputation knife, old but still in perfect condition. Upon further inspection, Ezra feels what he was looking for. It is the smallest soul shard he had ever come across, almost imperceptible, but there. He takes the knife at one hand and draws it sharply across the other. He begins to glow gray, and in a flutter of wings, Ezra is gone. Ansel, Aislin, Miles, and Bugs find their way into the shop that Ezra had directed them to.
Well, goddamn, people actually buy these things.
They do. Can I help you?
Terribly sorry, ma'am. I meant no offense.
And even if he did...
I reserve the right to remove anyone from my store, Your Highness.
Ah,
I can't imagine I have a single thing that would turn your head.
What am I missing? Y'all know each other?
we run in the same circles.
That would be the 6th.
Indeed. I can't imagine I have a thing for you either, especially since you're with him.
We would be looking for something that suits my tastes, ma'am.
The shop owner saunters back towards Miles. She has gray eyes, wears heavy makeup perfectly applied, bronzed skin, and long brown tresses that reach to the small of her back.
Silver fox, huh? I can work with that. What are you looking for? And more importantly, what is your budget?
My friends and I require a certain level of anonymity, ma'am. Surely you understand?
Of course. I have a tea room in the back, and the more exotic merchandise downstairs.
The woman turns off the lights and flips the closed sign on her shop as she leads them to a back room. While it was indeed filled with crystals, incense, and other metaphysical items, there's a small table with a beautiful tea set and enough settings for everyone. As tea is served and everyone sits, Bugs the dog sits at attention beside Aislin, seemingly focused on the stairs that are further within the room.
So, Monsieur
Miles, ma'am.
Miles, what's your pleasure?
Well, ma'am, I hear great things about one of your employees. As a man that can appreciate word of mouth, I had to come see for myself.
Well, color me disappointed, sir.
Well, lucky for you, he isn't the only one here.
She's more my type.
Oh, pity.
For you, perhaps. Your partner, however, is beautiful.
Thanks. Jessie. The one he heard about is an employee named Jessie, am I right?
Jessie is your style, Monsieur Miles. He's not exactly bold.
Don't mean he ain't good company.
He's expensive.
I'm sure.
Bugs leans over and nips her hand.
That's a smart dog, Miss Aislin. It would serve you well to keep your inner thoughts to yourself, no?
I didn't say my name.
You didn't have to. Everyone knows who you are.
Well, all the same, I'd like to meet this Jessie.
Of course. Follow me. Do drink your tea, Aislin.
Aislin immediately puts her cup down.
This is a trap.
Yeah, but we've got to see it through.
The group follows Charlie down the stairs to an opulent and lovely room that seems to serve as a sort of foyer. An emerald green overstuffed velvet sofa sits in the center of the room, with a mirrored coffee table in front of it. There are door-lined hallways going in several directions, and a floor of marble tile.
Ooh, a woman of taste.
It's still a work in progress, but for now this will work. Please, have a seat. I'll go get Jessie.
Charlie heads down a hallway.
That's the girl Ezra wants to get.
Ansel pauses in thought, knitting his fingers together.
If so, she has something he really must want. I think she's a plant.
She's a demon. What kind of deal would she have possibly made with him?
Both demons and angels work in souls.
Even you?
I am still a demon. It's within the realm of possibility. Just because it's not soul energy that I particularly feed off of doesn't mean the energy isn't tantalizing. It's in our nature, and I'm sure that woman has snatched many souls.
In the demonic sense, or?
Both, but...
Bugs begins to bark as Aislin's nose shifts into that of a wolf.
Shadow magic. Can you smell it?
What?
We did know this was a trap.
Black smoke begins to rise from the floor, first staying along the walls, then filling the room itself and staying just below Bugs's neck. She lets out a loud yelp and is thrown across the room, the leash ripped from Aislin's hand.
Bugs!
Hey, I got her. The hell?
Miles sends out sand that falls out of his control the second it touches the smoke. Aislin gasps as she suddenly feels needle-like teeth sink into her lower legs. As the black smoke begins to dissipate, the creatures within it become apparent. They look like satyrs of legend, only with a twist. Their horns are sharp and twisted, their skin is red, their teeth are sharp, and their eyes are yellow, with a red iris. They have hooved legs of goats, their fur is black, and their torsos are muscular, but their hands are twisted into wickedly sharp claws. One is licking blood off of his claw as Bugs struggles to get away.
Son of a bitch! Bugs! No! Stay!
Ripping sounds are heard as Aislin and Ansel both shift their forms. Aislin goes into her war form as she begins to attack the creatures. She shoots up to 9 feet tall, solid black wolf with white tufts in her ears, while Ansel takes on his demon form. Leathery wings sprout from his back and massive horns grow from his head.
We are going to keep you busy until he comes. He's coming, and there's hell to pay.
Magical fireballs fill the air as Ansel begins to cast, but he finds there are so many satyrs that he is struggling to keep them off of him.
Do you really think we can keep her safe?
He continues to throw them off, casting fireballs as Aislin grapples with them, violently tearing satyrs apart. Miles works his way through, smashing them in sand when he can, and making his way to Bugs. He creates a wall between himself and the dog and the rest of the battle, making the sand move sharp particles within it to keep enemies out.
Damn, that is a deep cut. Don't worry now, I got you, girl. Drink this.
Miles produces a small flask from his pocket and pours a blue liquid into the dog's mouth. Blue smoke emanates from the deep cut, and the dog lets out a soft whine as entrail, sinew, muscle, and skin knit back together.
Now, I think y'all are more than what you seem, pup. I have a picture of Jessie. Think you can find him while I help Ansel and Aislin here?
The dog locks eyes with Miles and gives a snort of approval as she stands, waiting for him to show her the image. Miles reaches into his jacket and pulls out a picture of a young adult man with medium-length hair. He has brown eyes, tan skin, and a brilliant smile. With that, the dog takes off down the hallways, and Miles turns his attention back to the battle raging on. He looks around to find anything that he can use as a better shrapnel within the sand.
Do you need a hand, Aislin?
Aislin tosses the body of the latest satyr aside and charges at Markus.
I wouldn't do that, little one.
He raises his hand, and it's like Aislin hits a wall. There is no amount of brute strength that can allow her to move even an inch if he doesn't want it.
Temper, temper. Let me help you see your situation better, Miss Aislin.
Markus lifts her above the battle and rotates her in midair so that she can see Ansel, who is being overpowered by the sheer number of satyrs.
He's here. How can you be persistent when you can't keep yourself safe at all? What's the point?
Meanwhile, Bugs searches through the rooms in the hallway, putting her snout to the crack between the floor and the door, sniffing out people and unlatching doors to the ones that had the scent of a person in it, along with the sound of breathing. It takes her 4 tries, but finally she finds the right one. The young man is hiding, pressing himself against the wall under his desk in his room. Bugs approaches carefully and lays down before him, wagging her tail gently.
Who are you? We don't get animals down here. It's not safe for you.
The dog very carefully and gently crawls her way closer to him, still keeping her friendly body language as she finally locks eyes with the boy. She stretches out her head and nuzzles under his hand. After a moment, he begins to pet her.
I mean it, pupper. It's not safe.
The softest, gentlest voice fills the boy's head.
It isn't safe for you either.
Did you say that?
I'm trusting you with the hopes that you will trust me. I know you are scared. There are people here coming to help. The lady who owns the dog vessel, her name is Aislin. She's my daughter. She means to help. She does not know that I am within this dog, and I would appreciate your help in keeping my secrets. But Aislin is here with friends, and they intend to take you from this place. You aren't happy here, right?
I must be dreaming. What a day.
Jessie, feel the fur beneath your hands. You are not dreaming. I know it's scary, but I promise you, we will all be okay. I need you to trust me.
Why?
Then don't trust me. That's okay. But anywhere has to be better than here, right? You only have a desk in here, no bed. It locks from the outside. You're skinny as hell. Do they feed you?
Once a day.
Do you have friends?
I have clients.
Please come with me.
Oh. Okay.
Bugs takes the handle of her leash in her mouth and puts it in Jesse's hand, leading him out of the room. In the foyer, Markus feels confident. With Ansel overpowered, surely there will be no reason for Aislin to want to leave. There is nothing wrong with the planet they were on before, but he has so many more connections here.
And you thought it wise to trust an angel. Sometimes I forget you're new to this supernatural community, Aislin. Do you know what that angel does for a living human side? He is a hunter. and therefore is only loyal as the highest bidder.
The ground begins to rumble, and suddenly the very floor splits open. A giant stone-skinned fist pops through. The satyrs stop attacking Ansel, and even Markus seems caught unawares as 3 gargoyles move in from underground. 2 of them are fairly large, while the last one is absolutely massive.
Well, fuck.
Did you think you were the only one connected? It seems in your haste to chase down our gal Aislin over here, you failed to deliver on a time-sensitive deal to my friends, the gargoyles.
Calm down, friends. I still have the item.
We know.
You were late, which meant we were late in delivery. There were casualties. Credit met the sun because of you.
Ansel takes the opportunity to shake the satyrs off of him and move over to Aislin. With Markus distracted, he flies over to Aislin, who is easy to free. Aislin stays in wolf form, but looks at Ansel curiously, as if asking what was going on.
Miles, are you sure you aren't from here? You seem to have a keen understanding how to work within this reality.
Granite was a good man. Worked with him a few years. What he means, Miss Aislin, is that gargoyles here, they're night dwellers. To see the sun, it's a death sentence. They are stoned by nature. The rays in the sun, ultraviolet light, it stops their hearts. It's a mutation in their DNA.
So unlike you to fail to complete a deal, Markus.
I didn't fail to complete. I was just late.
Your intentions are showing, old man.
This worked out so well. Since you were late and Granite died, it's only fair we take interest, right? I think this is our year to leave. We'll pay up front, but not for this.
The black smoke returns, and the satyrs disappear just as quickly as they had appeared. The largest of the gargoyles approaches Markus.
You hurt Granite. Pebble hurt you.
Miles, Aislin, and Ansel go back towards the storefront, but don't even get to the hallway before they run into Bugs and Jessie.
Well, I'll be damned. Looks like Bugs found our target. Hello there, Jessie.
What? Who? Is that a demon? Are those gargoyles?
Yes, and I'm Miles. This is Aislin and Ansel, and you've met Bugs.
Aislin squirms out of Ansel's arms, heads back into one of the rooms, and returns in human form, dressed in new clothes that are far too revealing for her own personal tastes.
Where is Charlie?
Ooh, I approve.
Jessie, did you see her?
Well, she told me to stay here. I imagine she went out a back way while all this, ruckus happened.
I'll leave a message for Ezra, though I imagine it would be pointless. Better to keep the lines of communication open. Come on, let's go.
Well, now that I've been to Eos, I can simply hellgate us there.
If you all don't mind, Ansel, Aislin, if you wish to remain at Sel's place, I'm sure she won't mind. But I intend to go visit Sam and Logic when we get back. My son is staying with them, and, well, it's high time I get him fixed up and home. I bet Logic won't mind setting you all up with a place of your own, if you feel like you may be staying on Eos longer than expected. Also, Jessie probably should meet the king and queen, given he will be a new citizen of theirs.
King? Queen?
Y'all don't worry now, they're lovely people.
With the unmistakable whoosh of a fire, a gate opens and the group returns to Eos. The Center Chronicles is a Land of Eos production, written and directed by Elle Bee, with music and audio engineering by Naaza Reid, featuring the voice talents in order of appearance. Introduction by Bees, Dreadwolf as Ansel, Voice of Tartarus as Miles, Alison Cossit as Aislin, Gavin Cash as the narrator, Soothing VA, aka Axel, as Markus, Justin Pukei Spencer as Ezra, Darby Horter as Charlie, various members of the cast as the Satyrs, Alanzo Rosales as Jessie, Doc Sweets as Bugs, Zack R as Pyrite, Deep Voice Guy as Crag, and Nels Gross as Pebble. The Center Chronicles is a free weekly podcast that you can enjoy on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please like, comment, and subscribe. Give us a rating and let us know who your favorite character is. We hope you have enjoyed this mid-season finale of the Center Chronicles. We will return in September for the second half of our season. See you then.